all your seatbelts, touch all your connections, touch your Hans. Just make sure you get everything like you want it.
Well, good evening, Sigma Race fans. We come at you here live tonight from Michigan Motorspeedway in Detroit. And tonight will be the Irish Hills 160 here, week 16 of Sigma Racing, going live here tonight under the lights at Michigan. On the front row, starting here in tonight's Truck East Division, you've got Sarah Taylor alongside the 18 there of Carlos Eduardo. Then it's David Bird and Zane Phoenix, followed by John Hagan and Alan Malcolm. Hagan currently your points leader. Then it's Philip Manning and Alex Sanvital. Brandon Butler the second with Ralph Oberstadt, Guido Piano, and Snake Poliskin. John Underkoffler with the 60 machine there of Cody Smart. Cannon Gage with Tim Morse. Craig Bush and Wyatt Wilkinson with Wesley Shaw and Philip Purpura. Then you have Eli the Wolf alongside Dale Bush, Jeffrey Gerald with Andrew Moger, James Gunner and Kyle Ottawa. You got Milano Grimm and Jacqueline Hyde, Andre Stefan and Gannon Bird, followed by Ryan Little and Mitchell Carter. Then it is Sebastian Galloway Jr. alongside Pedro Sales, Paul Valenzuela with Jamie Horseman, Boogs Bogdasarov there alongside Jack Ross with Drew Clue and Daniel Paulus Jr. rounding out the field here in tonight's 80-lap feature.
Drivers, start those engines!
We're going to do this and the ARCA race tonight. I've got a vacation this weekend, so we're in hurry-up mode to get all the broadcasts covered for this week. So with that, obviously tonight we're going to have trucks here at Michigan and ARCA Alpha Division at Las Vegas for 80 laps here tonight. So doubleheader action. Lights are off on the pace truck. We're going to get rolling for 80 laps here at Michigan and 80 laps later tonight at Las Vegas with the ARCA series. So get buckled in, folks, ready for the racing action. We're off and rolling here tonight in Michigan. John Hagan looks to continue his excellent run here this mid part of the season, the mid part of the regular season. That 88 Chevrolet for Shangle Steel Racing has been stout and hard to beat week in and week out. Really has not shown any weakness when it comes to track types. John Hagan is the wheelman behind that 88, and he puts on a show no matter where he goes. Already battling for second place there against David Bird. Bird, the word, running in second there. And here comes Alan Malcolm with a good charge on the high side. All in the meanwhile, Sarah Taylor up front leading this race. James Gunner with the fastest lap early here. 80 laps can go by pretty quickly here at Michigan. Lap times, they are no slouch. 173 mile an hour average lap time here, and laps at a 2-mile track, sub 45. These trucks are hauling the mail here at 41.551 with the fastest lap. We might be able to see him closer to the 40 point. There you go, 39.049 with James Gunner. So there we go, 184.277 miles an hour. James Gunner has got his truck figured out. There we go, Alan Malcolm jumps up to the fastest lap there. Nearly 3 wide for second place, but they settle into 2 wide behind David Bird. The Bird's the word. Leads these 2 drivers fighting for second place there. As you got teammates there with Trevor Ventures, the 9 and the 10. Alex Sanvital has joined Trevor Ventures there and has teammate of Alan Malcolm. But how about Philip Manning? We have not seen him up at the front of the field in a position to fight for wins like this. So this is a welcome surprise here tonight, seeing that 14 Toyota putting on a good running so far. 3 wide you have John Underkoffler in the Joe Diffie pickup man 07. He's in an unfortunate circumstance stuck in the middle lane there, which is dropping him backwards. Newcomer to the series, that's the number 60 there of Cody Smart, driving the Blue Chew JSR Ford F-150 here tonight. Sebastian Galloway Jr. started deep here tonight. He's already picked up about 10 spots. 4 wide for position right ahead of him there. That is Eli the Wolf, Dale Bush, Phil Purpura, and Cody Smart. 4 wide, still through the turn. Whoa, and that is Wyatt Wilkinson in the 39 just clipping into Phil Purpura there slightly. This right here is a wreck waiting to happen. John Hagan turned the quickest lap here. Points leader, as I've been saying, and he's up towards the front, fighting for all the points he can get here tonight. Well, it looks like things have kind of settled down a little bit here at the moment. And now Hagan running down your race leaders, Sarah Taylor. Hagan is firing on all cylinders this year in the Truck Series. Has been a bit of a struggle in the Cup side of things, but definitely making up for it here on the Truck campaign. Whoa, Cody Smart, quickest lap in the race at a 38.448. Newcomer to the league here tonight. This is his first ever career Sigma start. And fastest lap to go with it to start here. Not too bad. Not too bad at all. We got a lot of racing left, though. That fast lap is probably going to swap of hands a couple more times here tonight. Especially the race lead. John Hagan's right there knocking on the door. Is he going to be able to get around Sarah Taylor here in the Costco Toyota? Good run down the backstretch. He's sticking his nose down low here into turn 3. Hagan on the advance. Sarah Taylor on the defense. She might have a shot here down the front stretch, but it doesn't look like she's going to be able to carry as much momentum up high here. Hagan will lead the lap on lap number 10. And he's still having to defend lines behind him as well. Looks like Alan Malcolm with the quickest lap time now, just moving up into the picture here with your lead trio. And this is a side-by-side battle for the race lead. Sarah Taylor not given an inch. She's fighting for every piece of real estate here tonight at Michigan. Good run on the high side. She's going to lead this lap here, the 11th lap of the night. And 3 wide for the race lead. Here comes David Bird. Bird is going for it. 3 wide for your race lead. Sarah Taylor just has to let up there. She's not wanting to be in this scenario where she could be put into the wall. Hagen still holding solid here. Whoa! Bit of contact there between Bird and Hagen. This might open the door for Alex Sanvital to come knocking on the door. Wow, this is some extra good racing here at Michigan tonight. Hagen leads lap number 12. 3 wide for second place. Sarah Taylor not giving up. She's right back into the mix. You got that unsponsored 32 of James Gunner holding his own, but there goes David Bird taking over the top spot finally. This truck championship is going to be one to watch out for, folks. There's a lot of talented drivers that have been having rough years here in 2026. They're trying to make up for it at the end of the year and make it not as painful of a season right to the end. So you got drivers in the mix here like Snake Plissken has not had a truck campaign like his Bridge to Cup campaign has gone this year. Nor has, well, for the most part, David Bird or Alex Sanvital, which we would have expected to have seen fight for race wins each and every week here. And as it's about halfway through the regular season, that means we've still got about 6 more races for an outsider to maybe win and lock themselves in to the East-West chase. And a lot could happen in these next 6 races for the trucks. Between Trucks East and Trucks West, there's about 12 weeks left of the regular season of racing. And then, of course, that 10-race chase, the W, the West-East chase truck championship, where we bring 10 of the best from the East, 10 of the best from the West, and we stack them up to get a true champion. Whoever is crowned victorious claims the 2026 overall truck championship at the end of that W chase. So it's got to be at least sitting at the back of their brain thinking about the chase around the corner and what they can do to get there with the regular season coming to a close at the end of the year here. Some great battles all throughout the top here. Hagen takes back over the top spot, but if you look, 3 wide, 2 wide, all over the place. Tough break for Sarah Taylor, who was leading this thing, and now she's dropped all the way back outside the top 5. Snake Plissken always a threat. Doesn't matter if he's been on a dry spell here in the trucks. Keep your eyes on him. Now, how about one of our newcomers here in the Trucks West? Cody Smart for Jacob Schengle Racing, number 60, Blue Chew Ford F-150 here tonight. Might not always be the most successful in your series debut, but you're always going to remember your series debut. That track where it all started. Coming back here next year with the intents and purposes of one-upping your season opener. We'll see how he does and how the rest of this season treats him. Definitely love Michigan racetracks for the racing action that we get here tonight. And throw in a couple wild cards such as a newcomer. You never know what you're going to get. Currently running P18 in his debut here. A lot of racing left to go. Here you have your race leader, David Bird, defending 2 lines of 3 wide right behind him. And there you go, new race leader. That is the 32 of James Gunner going to the top spot, taking it away from David Bird here. John Hagan back up to second. David Bird falls back to third, and here comes Alan Malcolm on the inside. "20 laps in, 60 laps to go." Alrighty, John Hagan going back to the top spot, getting around James Gunner there. And while we are on this nice long green flag run here, let us take a chance to peek at our fuel window here in Michigan. So 50 laps the distance, which means we should have at least 1 round of pit stops here, not many more. Of course, cautions can always mix it up with strategies, pit calls, whatever. You might have some variance there, but for the most part, everyone can make it on 1 stop here today. And 3 wide for the race lead. John Hagan on the high side, David Bird on the low side, James Gunner in the middle. They go into the turn here. Gunner looks like he's going to take back over the top spot from John Hagan. There you go. James Gunner, David Bird, Alex Sanvital, and whoa, look at that. Snake Plissken up into the top 5. Snake Plissken has got himself kind of in a rare scenario. He's already won races in the ARCA series. He's won this year in Bridge to Cup multiple times. He's yet winless in the Truck Series. So kind of like a modern day Greg Biffle, Austin Dillon, whatever you may call it. Those that had worked their way up the ladder, winning in every form of race car that they've raced in. Snake Plissken is almost 3/4 of the way through that. Obviously, he's only halfway there because of the ARCA and Bridge to Cup race wins, and he's still short a truck win and a cup win. That cup win will definitely come in due time as well. It'll come with a little bit of hard work and determination, but it doesn't seem like there's anything that's going to slow the Outlaw down. Him and the Outlaw gang, there's a bunch of great race car drivers coming out of that camp, 4 of which are in the race here tonight. You can see another one a little bit further back, Philip Purpura in the number 25, and Snake Plissken, of course, there in the top 5. 3 wide for 4th place. Nice part is the fuel window opens up past halfway here today, so it should almost work perfectly. A one-stopper and a very, very small window for drivers running out of fuel. So they should be good all the way to the finish here tonight, which is always a welcome sign here in the USA Trucks to get a race without fuel mileage in the conversation. ARCA, we haven't been as lucky this year. It seems like a lot of those races have come down to a last lap pit stop that are unexplainable. I think we've got that fixed though. So going forward with the ARCA series, we should not have any more problems with drivers running right at the barren edge of the fuel window like we'd been seeing. The reason I say that is Sigma officials have allowed for a larger fuel tank on the ARCA car. That way they don't have any concern or worry about pitting on the last lap like we've seen so many of those races determined here in 2026. Just wild and unexplainable, but had a little bit of explanation backing it now at least. With this week as busy, as hectic as it's going to be, I cannot confirm when points will be scored next. Between vacation this week and the racetrack the next 2 weeks, I'm going to be going to my local racetracks the following 2 weekends. I will try to get to it when I can. No promise, no guarantee. It'll come when it comes at this point. Hopefully not have to wait as long as we did at a couple points throughout the season. But still, I know for a fact, John Hagan, your current points leader here on the Trucks Eastern Division. Still very high potential for new winners to help secure themselves into the East-West chase in a few weeks' time at this point, or a few months' time, not weeks, months. Oh, my bad. I guess I misquoted that. Alan Malcolm is your points leader here on the East Coast. John Hagan has 2 points back of the points leader, Alan Malcolm. More so because Alan Malcolm has 0 DNFs and John Hagan has had 1 DNF. 1 pole position for Alan Malcolm and 0 pole positions for John Hagan. Really makes up that difference of 2 points. Well, let's see what, yeah, on par for almost going a lap down here. The last of the trucks really, really slow at the back of the field here. Without actual physical damage, they will not be penalized or black flagged. They will just have to work their way through the traffic here. '32 of James Gunner leading this thing for Tyler Aspinall, racing in the Honda Ridgeline. John Hagan, of course, for Shangle Steel Racing Chevrolet. And Jesse Saturn Racing with David Bird in the 96. Look at that, already moving his way up the grid here. That is Philip Purpura, who is third in the points. One of the Outlaw gang in the mix here with your leaders, but your leaders are now going to be dealing with a little bit of lap traffic. They're going to have to make the right moves here, pick the right spot to be. Gunner makes a mistake going high. That gives the door wide open to John Hagan. But now Hagan's going to have a slow truck in front of him. Will he be able to slide in front of the 32? Nope, he stays low, and he's going to go below the lapped truck. Lap truck is going to hold up James Gunner here. Fiercely holds him up. Inside lane was the place to be. Outlaw gang going 3 wide with the 32 of James Gunner. Philip Purpura and Snake Plissken going on the attack. And it's, of course, back to John Hagan, your race leader. And we're almost at the halfway point here now. Like I was saying a little bit earlier, tonight we're going to have a doubleheader. Trucks right now, ARCA following right afterwards. 80 laps here at Michigan in the trucks, 80 laps tonight in Las Vegas with the ARCA division. There's a lot that can pan out here, a lot of different names up at the front of the field fighting for this win. Snake Plissken would be a first in the trucks. Sarah Taylor would be a first in the trucks, as is Philip Purpura. Brandon Butler, the second A Cup race winner this season, trying his hand at the truck side of things to get into victory lane. But of course, they're led by a trio of race winners. John Hagan, who's won multiple this year. David Bird had a couple wins last year. And of course, Alan Malcolm, who was runner-up in the championship bid last season against Trevor Vaden. Coming up this year, trying to prove his position and get to victory lane again. Well, we are halfway. Fastest lap in the race belongs to that number 9 truck of Alan Malcolm. Set somewhere quite a while ago now at this point, but a 38.374. That is your fastest lap here tonight before the first round of green flag pit stops. Now, though, is when these drivers have to start figuring out when and where to take that pit stop. You obviously want to stretch it a little bit further here. You don't want to just come directly to pit road at lap 40. When the window's about 50 laps, you can try to push it, yeah, I'd say to about lap 46. 46 to 50 would be like the bare max. No cautions here tonight has definitely helped keep this race pace going strong here tonight. So with no cautions, that also adds a wrinkle to when and how you decide to make your one pit stop here tonight. Sarah Taylor, your pole setter, she's back on the move here. She wants to get around John Hagan, take that race lead back. Three wide for fourth place, maybe not quite. Well, there you have it, getting around some more lap traffic here tonight. That is the 28 of Jammy Horseman. John Hagan maintains that lead, but here comes Sarah Taylor with a good push from Philip Purpura in the 25. Outlaw Gang working alongside the 45. Philip Purpura gets stuck. A groove too high there, gets slowed up by Jack Ross in the 00. I'm amazed that we have not seen a wreck here tonight. They are racing all over the track, and not a mistake has been made yet. Of course, I say that now, and I'll probably jinx it, and we will see that first caution just shy of lap 50. But so far, so good. So far, so clean for all these truck drivers here tonight, putting on a great showing. Well, they're absolutely going to push it right to the limits here on fuel window. We saw that the fuel window is about 50 laps. Well, we've already made it 46, 47 laps. And one of the first takers looked to be the 3 of Ralph Oberstadt, taking that undercut, getting those fresh tires the soonest. Meanwhile, looks like John Hagan may stay out yet another lap here. And that he does. Majority of your race leaders deciding to stretch it a little bit longer. Wow, up into the top 12, top 10 now. Cody Smart in the number 60 Blue Chew machine. Great debut for the newcomer to the circuit. Lot of 3 wide racing all over Michigan here tonight. I'm actually surprised that we aren't seeing more people pit before lap 50. They might actually be able to get a little bit better gas mileage than the initial analysis on the race specs here tonight. Almost no one pitting, seems like. Stretching it as long as possible. There we go. We're going to have a couple more takers this lap, it looks like. Possibly the 45 of Sarah Taylor. No. So far, the 99 of Daniel Pauls Jr., the only pitter. Sarah Taylor takes back over the top spot here tonight on lap 50. 30 laps to go. And this has got to be right to the raggedy edge of fuel windows. There we go. 45, Sarah Taylor. 88 of John Hagan. Pitting now just a lap later. They are, believe it or not, your undercut group here, as everyone else still stays out a little bit longer. Oh, and we got the 95, Sebastian Galloway Jr. pitting alongside of them. Now, the longer they stretch it here, the worse it's going to be. Once the pit stop cycle around, they may be losing some very valuable, precious track time right now. Oh, and we've got our first caution of the night. Definitely not what your pit takers wanted to see here. First caution's really going to stack things up, really tweak the entire complexion of this race and turn it upside down. Whoops, and there is your wreck. The 9 of Alan Malcolm comes back out off the racetrack into live traffic there. Bad merge. And that's a runner-up in the championship that just drove right into oncoming traffic there. Not very normal by any means. We are going to have our hands full figuring this out. Well, it wasn't as bad as I thought it'd be. Everyone was right there at the front of the field anyways to get their wave around. Should be David Bird to the race lead here, I believe. And believe it or not, that would put second place Alex Sanvital. Oh, wait, okay. No, here is the problem. They're right at the tail end of the lead lap. Everyone else stays a lap ahead, I think. Gotta wait till it cycles here to see if the pit stops. Okay, nope, we're correct. So Sanvital in second. David Bird, your race leader. Alex Sanvital, followed by Cody Smart. Where the cautions fell definitely shook this running order up. Folks that decided to pit kind of got trapped and fell back here, while others that stayed out, stretched it out, kind of changed their fortunes up a little bit here. Jeffrey Gerald, Zane Phoenix, Dale Bush, Guido Piano, Cannon Gage, Carlos Eduardo. John Hagan finds himself all the way back to 10th. So of those that pitted. He's kind of gotten dropped back to 10th at the moment. Still definitely a great car, fast truck, capable of the win here tonight. He's got pole sitters Sarah Taylor right behind him, James Gunner, Snake Plissken, Philip Purpura, and Eli the Wolf, followed by John Underkoffler, Tim Morse, Mitchell Carter, Milano Grimm, and Wesley Shaw. That's your top 20. We're going to be down to about 24 laps to go here tonight. It's going to be a double file restart following the caution brought upon here by the number 9 of Alan Malcolm during green flag pit stops here this evening. And stay tuned, folks. We got doubleheader action here tonight. Tomorrow night, I'm planning on doing Bridge to Cup and Cup doubleheader on a Tuesday night. That means it'll be non-stop streaming once I get off work, basically. And of course, I've got my iRacing coverage on Wednesday still, so that is non-negotiable. But I'll have my Thursday and Friday off to get prepared to go camping this weekend. So gotta go have the fun time, go explore, go camping, and gotta get ready by packing and getting everything figured out for vacation time. So that just means doubleheader action tonight and tomorrow night to get through it in 2 nights. We're going to cram 4 nights of racing into 2 days, 2 nights back to back here. Great to see the newcomer here, number 60 of Cody Smart with a great run. He's staying out of trouble, actually just running a very smart race. Pun not intentional, but clever as it is. He is running a smart race here tonight in Michigan. What else has he got left in the tank? Will that 60 Blue True number Ford run strong? Or is it going to fall short here today? We'll see. Lights are out. Pace truck pulls off. David Bird in control of the restart here. Definitely a colorful cast of characters up here in the top 10, all of which looks like seeking their first win of this season if their name is not John Hagan. Good run on the inside. David Bird with a push here from Smart in the 60. Cody Smart, this is the highest he's run. This is his series debut. Top 3 out of the gates here, running strong. 3 wide behind him for 4th place. 5th place and back. 3 by 3 by 3. They come rolling out of turn 3 into turn 4. Man, we're going to have 4 wide before you know it. Here we go. Of course, the outlaw, Snake Plissken, forces it 4 wide here going into turn 1. They keep it clean. They keep it rolling. No contact whatsoever. Sarah Taylor tried to stick her nose somewhere where the sun don't shine, and she had to settle back in line on the high side of 3 wide. Wow, what a wild restart here, folks. You wouldn't know it, but they're all racing to try and get up into the top 5. But they've got a lot to gain, a lot of ground to make up to get there. John Hagan on the move, 3 wide, gets him into the top 5. 3 wide for 2nd, 3rd place, 4th, lead, 3 wide all over the track. And here comes the 17 of Dale Bush. That is for LFG Motorsports Honda. 3 wide for the race lead again. John Hagan has been hard to beat here tonight. Cody Smart holding in solidly in the top 10 though, keeping that 60 truck right there where it should be, in a position to fight for the race win. And then, of course, you have Al Bunch Incorporated with Snake Plissken and the 08 of Guido Piano right there. 4 wide for the race lead. Holy cow. How did that not get nasty there for the race lead? Jeffrey Gerald with a good push here from Philip Purpura on the inside. Whoa. 3x3 all the way through the top 12. I don't know how we don't have the big one here tonight. And there you have Philip Manning pushing the envelope 4 wide again. Some more 4 wide action here. The Outlaw Gang seems to be the common trend here is that they like to push it 4 wide. Doesn't matter if it's Snake Plissken, Philip Manning, Philip Purpura, Tim Morse. All 4 of them want to be in the mix, pushing it 4 wide, fighting for the race wins here today. And just like that, Philip Purpura has worked his way up to second. Part of that 3x3 freight train through the field here. The Outlaw Gang all getting together on the inside. Philip Manning on the inside of Philip Purpura. 3 wide for 4th place. 4 wide for 4th place. Purpura had to let up there. He was seeing the writing on the wall. It's a wreck waiting to happen. I mean, we still have 20 laps to go here tonight. They're racing like there's only 2 laps left in the race. This is top-notch Michigan racing. I feel like we need to bring Michigan back on the calendar for this truck series next year. With the downsizing, kind of the shrinking of schedules, this would definitely be one of the few I'd want to host a truck race at every year. We haven't seen 5 wide yet. Doesn't mean we won't. They're really getting close. Whoa, the 23, Brandon Butler, the second, was getting all kinds of out of sorts there, merely missing contact with the 18 and the 10. 18 laps to go. John Hagan, your race leader, over Jeffrey Gerald and Dale Bush. Cody Smart there in the top 5. Good run for your series debut in the number 60 Ford F-150. Whoa, here goes Jeffrey Gerald to the race lead. That's a huge move. We haven't seen LFG Motorsports in a position to fight for wins much at all in this truck series. And to see them running right there 1st and 3rd with 17 laps to go. Do not count them out. They are looking to try and write the courses of 2026 here. Like I was saying, there's some drivers, there's teams out there that getting down to the end of the regular season, all they want is at least a victory. It doesn't matter if it's a championship caliber season, getting to victory lane kind of heals everything. Wow, Philip Manning, Philip Purpura, nose to tail there. Snake Plissken at the back of this 9 deep lockout of the top 10. John Hagan just kind of cruising up front right now, not worrying, paying no mind to the guys and gals racing behind him. Whoa, there we go, 4 wide again. This time for 5th place. Wow. Philip and Philip running 2nd and 3rd. Philip Manning and Philip Purpura of the Outlaw Gang. Well, look at that. Another quarter of the Outlaw Gang on the move here. You got Snake Plissken moving into the top 5. That would make 3 of the Outlaw Gang running in the top 5. In the meanwhile, John Hagan now has to defend against Philip Manning in the 14 there, the Toyota. The Saturday Night Live Cluckin' Chicken. Wow, look at that. Here comes Philip Manning. Looking low. Keeping John Hagan honest here at the race lead. Man, laps led here today. Let's take a quick glance at that because it's got to be a storybook of lap leaders here tonight. Of course, John Hagen has led the most at 27. 1 lap led by Philip Purpura. 5 laps led by David Bird. And here comes Philip Manning looking to lead his first lap of the night. Sarah Taylor at 10, James Gunner at 19. So a couple drivers in the double digits here tonight. But John Hagen has definitely been the class of the show. David Bird back on the mend here. For John Hagen, all he can hope for is more side-by-side racing behind him to help slow up their race and allow him to drive away with it. All out great racing here tonight. Non-stop from green to checkers, it looks like, is going to be the call here. Great racing through and through. Like I said, doubleheader action here tonight. As soon as this one concludes, we'll reset it and roll the ARCA race at Las Vegas here tonight. Doubleheader tomorrow as well with Bridge to Cup and Cup. I have not looked at a calendar because I've definitely just been, I have had all intents and purposes to get caught up on stuff. It's just everything gets away from you. Okay, so yeah, Indianapolis with Bridge to Cup. That should be an exciting one. Tomorrow we'll do Bridge to Cup first, and then Kansas with the Cup Series to follow shortly after. It'll be a long night of Sigma racing. It'll be Sigma after hours for sure. But we'll get it all in, and I'll get ready for vacation. And we'll hopefully be back to normal broadcasting schedule next week. Well, we are down to 8 laps left to go here tonight. 2 Chevys, 2 Hondas, a Ford, and a Toyota not too far back. Definitely a lot that could happen in these final laps. 8 laps to go, a lot can come down to the line here tonight. Meanwhile, John Hagen just racking up all the laps led here tonight, trying to secure lead most. They got a lap truck in the wake here. That is the 49. Oh, and it's going to hold up the 14 there of Philip Manning. Hardcore there. Drops him backwards. Meanwhile, everyone else has to work around it. Outlaw Gang takes a bit of a hit there, working around the traffic. But how about Cody Smart in the Blue Chew, number 60 Ford F-150 for Jacob Schengel Racing. Great night so far in his series debut, top 5 run with just a handful of laps left to go. 3 wide for the race lead ahead of him there. David Bird, Dale, Bush, and John Hagen. Hagen loses the lead to David Bird. Here comes Cody Smart with a full head of steam rolling down on the inside. He's going to send it in there. Basically a quad of blue trucks at the front of the field here. The only difference is the teal blue of John Hagan versus all the blue, orange, and red of the trio around him there. Down to 5 laps to go. Here comes Snake Plissken, 4 wide for 3rd place. The Outlaw Gang sandwiched together there with Cody Smart. Oh, and it's going to take Cody Smart for a ride. Snake Plissken ruffled some feathers there, and they're wrecking hard. Ah, what a tough way to go out in your series debut. Fighting for a win, nonetheless. Had a great truck here tonight. It's all 4 wide with the Outlaw Gang here. Philip Manning on the inside. Snake Plissken rubs into the 60 there. Oh gosh. They never lifted. Not even for a minute. They never lifted. Man, that just sucks. Having a series debut like that go up in smoke. Oh, and there was some extracurricular at the end of that. We'll follow along one more angle here. This is seriously, this is where beef becomes reality. You got the Outlaw Gang, and now you're starting to get, Sebastian's developed a gang of his own. I don't know what to call them yet. I don't know if they want to be coined as a gang, but definitely, oh, and Boogie got in that too. So the team, kind of the teamwork between Sebastian Galloway and all of his comrades. And tonight, Snake is making some more friends, more frenemies here amongst a very select group of drivers out there. So retired out of the race, Cody Smart, Philip Manning, Jack Ross, and Daniil Bogdasarov all retired here with 3 laps to go. Don't personally hate the guy, though. I mean, he's out there racing just like everyone else. I mean, he's kind of developing the Jimmy Johnson, Jeff Gordon, and or even Dale Earnhardt Sr. kind of persona. A lot of people hated Jimmy Johnson because he won a lot. He was always the winner. A lot of people hated Jeff Gordon because he was the Rainbow Boy. Or he, obviously won a lot of races, a lot of championships. And it's crazy to say this, but in today's age, everyone loves Dale Earnhardt Sr. No one actually lived it that say that they're a big fan of Dale Earnhardt Sr. Those, going back in the day, there were people that didn't like Dale Earnhardt Sr. for the same reasons that people don't like, say, Christopher Bell or Kyle Busch or Carson Hocevar, for that matter. And so you think about it, if you get enough haters out there, you're doing something right. So it's just kind of, it comes with the territory of being a race winner. You're going to be out there winning races. There's going to be people out there wanting to win those races that you won. You've developed a fan base of ravenous fans that love to see the winning. You've also developed a ravenous base of haters that want to see you fail and not win any more races. So just remember, it's all in fun. We're not trying to deliberately hate on anyone. Snake himself is just a person like you and me, and well, he's gonna have to hire some bodyguards to keep that beef from getting seared extra fresh here tonight. We should have about a regular standard green-white checkered finish here. It's going to be lap 79 of 81, so it'll be just past traditional regular. So this is the first attempt at overtime here tonight in Michigan after a late race caution stacks us all back up. No, it's definitely been a one-sided affair lately. Snake Plissken has been out there making a lot of enemies, and eventually karma catches up. So that's all I'll say about that. Snake's doing his job. There's some other drivers out there that are going to have to be stepping up to the plate to do their job, and what goes around comes around, and well, we'll see. Snake Plissken's on a good shot to fight for the win here tonight. That would be like salt in the wounds of those that just ended up wrecked here tonight from a bump gone wrong. Doubled up for the restart, taking the outside. It's going to be Dale Bush and Snake Plissken with David Bird and John Hagan on the inside. If anything is an indicator for tonight, this may be the wildest restart. The final restart, potentially, if we don't get another caution, that is. And it'll be the fight to the finish. Green, white, checker style. Green flag in hand, waving. We're back and rolling. Basically 2 laps to go. Green, then we'll get the white, and then we'll get the checkered. Wow, imagine a 3-wide fight at the end of the race here. That would be wild. That would be crazy. But at the moment, single file to the leader. David Bird takes over the top spot. Jumps onto the outside there with Dale Bush. But here comes the 18, Carlos Eduardo. All they got to do is make it through the corner here, see the white flag, and they'll be clean sailing to the finish line here. John Hagan's falling backwards, but it's David Bird leading on the white lap here. Got a couple of pit stops at the end. Folks that didn't have enough gas for overtime. No drama whatsoever. It looks like your race leader and winner may very well just be David Bird here at the end. And he does the job. Gets it here tonight in Michigan. Race win number 1 here in 2026 for David Bird and Jesse Saturn Racing. ...81 laps. An 81 truck did not win it, but the 96 did. John Hagan came home in 3rd, Dale Bush in 2nd, Carlos Eduardo with the top 5, and pole setter Sarah Taylor, she brought it home in 5th. That was a good race. through and through here tonight. We had a little bit of everything, including a green-white checkered restart at the end there. So one thing we're going to remember for sure, though, is the heartbreak that went with the number 60 of Cody Smart. Had a top 5 run going, had a potential shot to fight for the race win here, but got tangled up in a wreck with a couple of the Outlaw Gang racers here tonight. But David Bird, back in his winning ways here tonight, gets the job done. So that makes East race number 8 of 13 in the books here tonight. John Hagan is going to be your new points leader after a bit of a drop back in the points running with Philip Purpura here tonight. Yep, 7, 8, perfect. 8 of East race 8, 13. Well, folks, that is a wrap here for the USA Trucks Eastern Division from Michigan here tonight at the Irish Hills 160. We will get rolling here with the ARCA race here. Just give me a minute to reset, recoup, and we'll be really rallying and rolling here for the next race here shortly. So I'll see you on the flip side. This is Jakester signing out.